Sir, I corrected over 50 FOIA officers of the Freedom of Information on more than 15 points. I corrected more than 4 or 5 Esquire's attorneys of the Freedom of Information Act. And it's all on video.
I would just be careful the hills you want to die on.
The hills, what's that?
Some people, don't take kindly to being challenged so much.
I've got one that can see.
This is the most interesting vid I've seen in a while. The shit that come out of this cat's mouth is beautiful. If you haven't seen this guy before, he's out of Chicago. His name is Audit Them, and he almost exclusively deals with Freedom of Information Act requests. I have managed to get him out on the streets with me. Here we are in Chicago, height of the protests, and guess what he's talking about?
Hey, could you guys identify yourselves?
I'm Officer Fiorentina.
Very good. What's your name, babe?
I'm not your baby.
Oh, be the
I'm Officer Newcomer.
Officer Newcomer. Be nice. The question I was going to ask you, are you aware of your policy that says when people try to communicate you, you're supposed to try to make friends with these guys and recruit them? You're not?
We are.
Very good.
The second cop did well. First cop is the kind they like, though. Train the heart right up out of you. Teach you to be tough. Baby, no one on the west side of Chicago thinks your 4-foot ass is tough. You can't even sell that shit over here. We all stocked up.
How many citations issued? How many violations issued? How many arrests issued? When this officer hands you a ticket, you serve the officer with the FOIA request on a blank sheet of paper, and it's up to this public official to go hand that over to the proper custodian.
This cat has one gear, and it's Rain Man. His temperament's outstanding too. Watch this next clip. And Audit Them is going to come out looking like the only adult in the building. And that includes me.
Audit Them, guys.
Audit Them here, Audit
Joe
Them there.
Cool, CPD, Grand Central. See if we can pull some records out of here, which I know nothing about. I'm with the right one.
Obtaining FOIA records, folks.
Whoa. Let's do this from Audit Them's point of view.
We're pulling FOIAs from the police station. The legendary JC with me, Joe Cool, from the Go. We're here on Central and Grand. Hey, how's it going? Needs to obtain some records, FOIA, Freedom of Information.
What do you need?
Freedom of Information?
Yeah, you mean the Freedom of Information Act? That's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
No, not the Freedom of Information Act, the Freedom of Information form.
Why are you recording in the district?
This is for my visit here, my transaction.
Because we got people we got confidential informants, we got people that are doing police reports, so we don't want to release their identity, so you can't record.
Well, the only identity you'll be releasing is your badge number and name.
I told you he was good.
Along with a FOIA form.
Claudio, Sergeant Claudio, 1315.
My man, do you have
you guys need to start recording.
Excuse me. Claudius, did you have your training in last March that told you are not allowed to stop people from filming inside of here? Department of Justice.
See, he's recording people. We got people in visiting rooms.
Do you understand that what he's doing is legal? He's a grown man. We don't want to get anyone's personal information, but you're telling us it's not legal.
We got people doing interviews.
I got you. Then you should take them in the back and not quote laws, the fictional laws.
Sir, let me ask you a question.
What's your name?
My name, what do you need my name for?
We'll be on the first
Okay, here, you mentioned the Freedom of Information Act, right?
Name basis. Can I have your name?
You mentioned the Freedom of Information Act
Claudio, and you are?
does not require first name, last name, or address. Do you have the form readily available?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the form?
Have a nice day, guys.
You're not
going to
want a police
service?
You're not going to give them the form?
Sir, I need to file a FOIA request. Do you have the form readily available?
Authority does not like to be challenged. I wish my public servants understood that they have none. The only good argument for authority in this room surely exists on my side of the counter.
It is your favorite auditor, Audit Them, the one who encourages you to audit them.
And now that you know my guy, I want you to smoke up because I need you where I am. My dream scenario is to take the most polite cat in the world, make him a FOIA expert, send him into the Department of Finance in Chicago with some of the most arrogant public officials in the country, and have him request their records. You about to get all of that right now.
Yes, sir, yeah.
You cannot record in here, sir.
Huh?
You cannot record in here, sir. record in here, sir.
Shut it off?
Yes, please.
He has on a blue, white, black, Adidas hoodie, gray pants, white shoes. Nope.
It's a long vid, so we're going to pick up at the part where the security guard has explained how it's illegal to film anyone in Illinois without their permission. And now he's calling the cops.
Hi, fans. You say that Illinois can't record nobody without their permission.
Police officer is going to inform them this is a public body. We have the right to record public employees in the official course of their duties. What they try to do is they try to escalate things and just come up with all types of imaginary things that they believe is going on. For themselves, they don't believe they have freedom, so they try to derail on others and infringe on others' rights.
I hope you caught that. He can assume that this guard has no idea what freedom is, because if he did, he wouldn't expect Audit Them to ask permission for something simple as filming.
And then that thug security guard by the door, now he's routing up the customers.
Okay. Thank you very much. Number one? Okay. Appreciate you. Thank you.
So this man came in here and I asked him that he's not supposed to record anything. You're not supposed to record anything in record. He's still recording as we speak. His phone is on recording as well as that little camera.
Well, just so you know, we're recording also.
Alrighty. That's fine. You guys.
Yeah.
Him.
Okay. Okay, so is there a reason why you're not complying with their wishes?
May I know what your unique identifier is, sir?
My unique identifier?
Yep.
I am Officer Clancy, Chicago Police Department.
Star number?
14381.
Take a digital image of that. You are filming now?
Yes.
Are you allowed to film and I'm not?
Yes.
I'm not allowed to film in here?
Is this a place of business?
This is a place of city business, yes.
City business.
As
Okay,
far
and
as
it is
people-
general policy that they're not allowed to film inside of it?
Sir, they
Where-
have a policy they can't record.
Where's the policy?
We could escort them out the door.
Yep. Okay. Our
And
job.
we asked them to leave the premises, we still didn't do that.
Gotcha. Officer, this is what I'd like you to do here.
Take note.
I'd like you to inform them this is a public body, open the subject public disclosure. I have the right to record public employees in the official course of their duties. I'm filing freedom of information requests, and I have the right to record in here. If you inform them, member of the public, the only way they could trespass me out of here if I have committed a crime. Currently, I'm recording. Members of the public have a right to do so.
Do you have a copy of the policy that says no one's allowed to record?
We're going to wait on that policy, and then I'm going to have a copy of that, and I'm going to show you that it does not apply to this event before we escalate things to...
We're not escalating anything.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Right.
If they have that policy, I'd ask that you respect it. But we want to make sure that they do have that policy.
Well, we're going to look over the policy first, and then I'm going to show you that it does not apply. So are you saying personally, you're a field training officer, Clancy, are you personally saying that this public body here, Department of Finance, members of public cannot film in here? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that according to Illinois state law, you are allowed to film in public places.
Right.
But this is not a public place.
This is the cat you sent to solve my problems. He don't even know what a public building is.
Of course this is a public place. Are you saying this is private?
It's a publicly owned place of business.
This is a public body, sir. According to 5 ISCS 140, subsection 3C, this is a public body.
Can I ask you a question?
I'm listening.
Why are you recording in here?
I'm recording so I could guarantee my transaction, my visit here. This is a receipt of my visit here. I am monitoring government to ensure it is being conducted in the public interest.
So what they're telling me is that you came here for a FOIA request, correct?
I'm here now to submit an additional FOIA request,
FOIA request, right?
which
And do you guys
under
take
section 3C.
requests, or do you just not give that information?
Sir, that's a security guard. You're talking to the wrong person. Security guard cannot fulfill FOIA.
All right, so what is the problem?
The problem is they believe I'm unable to film in here. If you honor your oath and you inform them that members of the public have the right to film in this public body, that'll be done and over with. I'm not causing a scene or...
So unless you guys can provide me that information, if we can get that, then I can do something. Otherwise, you can film.
Otherwise, he can film.
And I'm going to suggest that if for some reason you do have that policy, that you post it on the front building. for?
The policy is unconstitutional. It'll never stand.
Just for clarity, this cop is saying this guy absolutely has the right to film under the Constitution of the United States. But if you don't want him to, put a note on the front door.
Do you have a policy that says people can't film? Okay, yeah, if I can see documentation to that, which may or may not exist, we can work something out. Otherwise, if it doesn't exist, he's allowed to film. Okay?
I just like to
This is a
inform
public-
you, ma'am.
this is a business.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't have me leave, ma'am.
He hasn't filed his request yet, right?
No, not yet. I'm in the process of doing that.
He can do that here, correct?
Of course I
Or
can.
you can't.
You're
can't
saying an
request-
opinion and I have the law.
Oh, you guys don't take FOIA requests?
Of course they do.
Like I said,
Oh, I thought you said you took them, but you don't release them.
My man.
they don't, they give you the information where you can fill it out.
Right.
They can fax it over, but you don't come pick it up here.
Probably not the best resource in the building to consult on FOIA law, and him and Ethel here are wrong. Every public body must designate a FOIA official and ensure their requests are responded to in a timely fashion.
I
understand that.
I will show you the statute.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I just came from the back. I didn't know what is he trying to record?
He's just recording for his own purposes.
So for our safety, you can't record us. We are dealing with money and cash on there, and then these are judges. These are lawyers. You cannot record them.
Could be recorded in this public body. I'm going to say that one time.
Okay, so Alita, you need to call your supervisor and ask for the policy.
See, they come up with things they're unsure of. Yeah.
Anywhere you go, you
Are you?
report people.
You're unsure of that,
Can I ask
Monique.
you a question that's not
Yes.
related to recording?
Yes.
Can you submit a FOIA request here?
No, he has to go to City Hall. If he walks
Okay,
in
City
City Hall
Hall.
with a camera, the police would immediately.
All right, so we're,
Of course, this is the part where I show me film in a couple city halls. This is downtown Chicago. That's the Illinois Inspector General. He ain't have a problem with it. Hell, this is Trump crib in Florida, Mar-a-Lago. You'd be surprised where you can film.
let's not talk about the cameras hall right now. Let's just say you're here to submit a FOIA request, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so they're telling me that they don't even do that here.
Of course they do. I have the law in my hand and I'm gathering the statute for you right now.
Law says that this and all public buildings must designate at least one employee to be the FOIA official. That official has 30 days to successfully complete a training course, and that training course must be repeated annually. This way, at least one person in every government building would know that they are not authority figures, merely trustees of public effects. So when people come to get their shit, we don't have all these problems.
I would just go straight to City Hall because
Sir,
what's to say that
sir.
what's to say that you do put the info in here and they just either get it or drop it or whatever.
Well, we got to take it step by step, and I do have the right to submit my FOIA request at this time here, and they have a duty to forward it over to its Freedom of Information
They're
Officer
informing me
immediately.
that they don't do that.
I'm going to show you the state statute.
No, you can show
Yeah.
me whatever piece of paper you want, but
Right.
every employee here is saying they don't take FOIA requests.
It's not up to a security guard or an unidentified job title. It's not up to them. I will submit my FOIA request here, just like I did the past 2 times, and I received copies the past 2 times at this
You
location.
have submitted previous FOIA
Of course
requests?
I did. Anyhow, to your point, sir, here, under Section 5 ILCS 140, Section 3C, all requests for inspection and copied received by a public body shall immediately be forwarded to its Freedom of Information Officer or designee.
Okay.
You could take a copy of that if you like. Section 3C. Sir, I corrected over 50 FOIA officers of the Freedom of Information on more than 15 points. I corrected more than 4 or 5 Esquire's attorneys of the Freedom of Information Act. And it's all on video. Of course, I like to capture the incompetence of our staff too, because when I do become governor, we're going to do a total swap. We're going to replace employees.
I would just be careful the hills you want to die on.
The Hills, what's that?
Some people, don't take kindly to being challenged so much.
Well, sir, this is the law, and everybody has to abide by the law. See, sir, how now you're notified members of the public have a right to record in here? So that means
No, you can't record me without my consent. I don't consent to you recording me, so I would appreciate you the camera off.
could record government employees in the official course of their duties.
If I just said I do not
You were wrong the first time, you're wrong again.
You cannot record me if I do not consent to you.
I am recording you. You are working for my finance
What I'm saying
department.
is, this man can come in here and record me even though I tell him I do not consent to him recording, correct?
See what he says.
Sir, it's not what he says, sir. It's the law.
Right, the law
Are
says
you
can't
under,
record me without
what law are you referring to?
the state law.
Which one is it? What's the number?
What do you mean? That's everyone knows that freaking law.
Tell me what the law is.
You cannot legally record someone without consent.
Of course you
I do
can.
not consent to you.
We're in public. There's no expectation of privacy in public.
If you're in public, they can record you.
There you go.
Even if I say I do not consent to it.
Yes, they
Yes, now you're corrected on the second point.
Basically, he could record me even though I said I don't want him to record me.
Yes.
because you are technically in a public space.
Technically, these cats in over their head. And how do you get cops to understand FOIA laws? Well, apparently you watch a YouTube vid.
So what is a FOIA request exactly?
FOIA, sir, is the Freedom of Information Act. Have you heard that term before?
That's my first time hearing.
Okay, you're being trained as an officer?
Yeah, right now. I'm
Okay,
trained.
my man, I'd like to let you know, everything you do from your career moving forward, hopefully you're a great officer. I respect great officers. Hopefully you become sergeant and lieutenant. But everything you do working for the government is subject to public disclosure. In the near future,
Meaning like it's anybody can know it, like it's public information.
anybody could request everything that you do working for the government, working for the city of Chicago.
I like this cat. He has no ego, and he's interested in the information.
God forbid you arrest 100 people in the next 10 years. Those 4 reports would be visible to the public.
I knew it was public information. I just didn't know it was called like a FOIA request.
Yes, sir. Let me see what they're talking about here. So, sir, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to file this form, hand it to him, and I'll be all set for today. I will return in the next 15 days to see if this one will be fulfilled as well, without any harassment from these staff members. They now know that they can record in
You
here.
can do that, but what I also will tell you is that their supervisor called and said that they are not going to send your FOIA request.
I'm not so sure we're clear that Audit Them can film in that public lobby. Somebody probably in the back typing up a sign, and that cop's going to honor it. And these are the literal revenue collectors. Taxes, parking enforcement, these are the people who collect that money. The law says they must make a public accounting for all that revenue. But accountable to who?
Okay, ma'am. This is my request here. All contracts between all administrative hearing officers and the city of Chicago. I want to pick up these records at Pulaski location. I ask that you send an envelope with these records. The first 50 pages are free. My generated code, not a name, but a generated code is 2323F.
If you're a regular Joe, you have no chance of getting a FOIA request here. There's no regard for the law here. A 2-minute Google search and no one knows who you are. Even with this guy's extensive familiarity and recall of FOIA laws, they still telling him no. Hell, they tried throwing him out. Called a couple of their friends to bring guns. Let's see how this turns out.
I simply just ask that you forward this over as you are required to under Section 3C to your FOIA officer. FOIA officer would put these records in an envelope and mail it out to this location, ready for pickup.
Then you should go somewhere and fancy it yourself.
As the officer clearly did read the code, all requests for inspection and copying received by a public body shall immediately be forwarded to its FOIA officer. Here's the code here from the state law, ma'am. I'm just asking you to comply with the law. May I know what your job title is, ma'am? May I know what your job title is?
I am a supervising clerk for the finance department.
Supervising clerk,
So
okay.
I will not be taking those papers. The only
Okay.
thing I can do on this side is take a payment.
Members of the public can record in here, and they have the right to record public employees in the
Okay.
official course of their
Thank you,
duties.
sir.
Yep. You have a wonderful day.
I guess not everybody clear on that recording policy.
You know, if the lady come back here and took the copy, then it'll be done and over with. She was sitting at her post, she got up and left. Now the post is abandoned.
She was saying that she's probably off.
What could have been a 4-minute interaction turned into 35 minutes.
Yeah, but you also have to realize, like, it's not every day someone comes in asking for this, so they're not exactly briefed on what to do during it.
Well, 4 people gave their opinion versus the actual law here from the state.
Well, yeah, we sorted through it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have to understand, like, these people either weren't trained correctly or they just don't know. So you gotta give them a little leeway. You know?
Ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Okay, so she's done for the day.
Oh, she's walked out?
She's done. She's done at 4 o'clock, so I can't accept that.
Okay, so he's gonna have to come back?
Yes. and
No,
then-
like I said, I'll leave it on the counter. They decide what they want to do with
Hey,
it.
that's your
Do you have a
prerogative.
business card, ma'am? I'll leave it on the counter here.
I wouldn't advise you to leave, because we have customers coming in. I wouldn't advise you to leave anything that's personal on the counter.
Could hand it with you.
I can't take that.
I'll go ahead and leave it on the counter.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have
It's
an image of it as
But
well.
so can we do that so he can leave?
It's his prerogative, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
Well,
do
ma'am,
something.
the police is not escorting me out. I'm walking out on my free will. Okay.
That's fine by
Yeah.
me. Okay.
Okay.
So can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and leave it, and
Sure.
we're good to go.
And I'll take a digital image that I do got.
Do whatever you gotta do.
All set.
Alrighty,
All right.
thank you.
After you, gentlemen.
Oh, we're gonna leave after you. We actually have to talk to him regarding the incident.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait here
Why?
because I like to leave last. I don't like to leave first.
There's a lot more left in this vid. You can see the whole thing over at Audit Them's channel. Rogue Nation also has it up. But before you guys get out of here, a couple questions. What law did the police come to enforce? Please don't say film it, because it took them 30 minutes to begrudgingly acknowledge that Audit Them could film in there. Who gave Audit Them the right to film there? And does that mean that Audit Them just gave it to you?
Before you gentlemen leave, just last thing I'd like to ask the man, sir, respectfully, do you acknowledge that you said some things not to be found true today? Do you acknowledge that you now know members of the public can record in here? That's all I ask of you.